Let's talk a little bit about the blockchain ecosystem. What do you believe about the open source economics that most of your competitors still think is wrong?
So the reason why we open sourced the OP stack is
Hmm.
because this is code that you have to trust with your money. And,
Yes.
that is like, I'm not going to say it's the most valuable thing ever, but it is the unit of value. And
Mm.
so we wanted our infrastructure to be the standard rails that money moved on. And we thought that the best way to build credibility for that was to actually open source it, MIT license it, and enable people to see exactly what the architecture is, exactly how it's constructed. And early on, people thought, well, if you open source everything, then it's going to be super easy to hack. But the reality is, if you open source everything, everyone tries to hack it. And so if you go multiple years with no hacks, then chances are it's probably pretty good, knock on wood.
What you're saying is that since it's open source, the hardening of the software of the code base actually becomes even more rigor than otherwise. And I think it is because you open source the OP stack that many of the world's leading projects, leading companies are now using Optimism as their code base. Maybe talk a little bit about those, right? Coinbase, I know you guys did some work with Sony as well. Maybe talk about Coinbase first and then share a bit about Sony and some of the other projects that you might want to share here.
Yeah, so super, super early days in crypto, things weren't that scalable. You hear things
Mm,
like $25 for a transaction fee on Bitcoin,
right.
or 10 minutes to 45 minutes for a transaction to confirm on Ethereum. And so what we built was a scaling solution for
Mm,
the EVM. And there weren't that many companies that really, really needed to scale at the level that, we consider Web 2 apps or internet scale. But Coinbase was one of them. And so they were our first customer for this application specific chain architecture. And they experienced explosive growth over the last several years. And so we partnered really closely with them to mature the infrastructure alongside the actual demand that they were experiencing. So that was really awesome. There are other centralized crypto exchanges that have also forked and innovated on the stack.
mm.
Binance was one of the first. So OPBNB is the Binance fork, and they experimented with tuning different parameters to test out the scalability of the underlying infrastructure. So that was really cool to see.
So when you work with these projects, are you building it for them or did they just take the open source stack and essentially just customize on top? How are the working relationship between these projects?
Yeah, early on, we were super, super permissive. We had a really, really deep arrangement with Coinbase. We built a lot of things for them. They also built and
Mm,
contributed a lot of things themselves. They have an incredibly talented engineering team. Other teams like Binance mostly operated themselves, but if they had questions or they were struggling with something, they would ask us for help. And honestly, we're just like giving everything away for free at the time, the code, the help. Like we were just in growth mode. We weren't really thinking about business model. We were just happy that taking the risk of making it MIT licensed was resulting in the kind of innovation that we hoped to see.
mm,
Today, we have something called OP Enterprise, and we give companies an option. If you don't want to hire any blockchain specific people onto your team, that's fine. And you can use our fully managed offering. If you want to run it yourself, but you want to make sure that we're running a backup, and if there's a security incident, we're there to help. That's a separate offering that we have. And if you want to take it and do whatever you want with it and never ask us for any help, like that's an option too. And some people do that
mm.
also.